let's start off with the front mudguard and the light. Okay, so we're going to put the mudguard and light on. The front mudguard sits off the back here because as you're rolling forward, the water's going to flick up off the back. So that's where you want to guard yourself from. Not so much off the front, doesn't matter if it flicks forward, but if it flicks here, it's going to get onto you. So you put the mudguard pointing back this way. It's just going to mount on like that. This is just a half mudguard, it doesn't have one out the front. And we'll put the light on at the same time. Okay, so my mud flap actually came with a nut and bolt, but we won't be using that because to use a nut and bolt, you need to go right through, and this doesn't come right through. So we're going to use the little nut that was in the bike here. I'm going to adjust this up high because on a mountain bike, you can get rocks and mud and stuff coming up here. You don't want it to get caught. So I'm going to lift that up as high as it'll go by just this slides up and down here, and the light getting into position. So now just tighten that up with the Allen key. This is a slightly larger Allen key. Just tighten it up with the Allen key and she's in business. And then we're just going to adjust that light as poking up too high. So undo with the Phillips head screw the other side, adjust it down a bit, then she'll be pointing in the right direction. So there we go, lights on, mudguard's on, getting there. Now we'll just step in, put the rear mudguard on. It bolts on to the seat pole here. Okay, so here's the rear mudguard. Pretty light and very adjustable. So it's going to go, you don't want to put it on the seat pole like that. You want to put it there. If see, it's got an insert, I think it'll fit on there. And then you're going to stick it out over the rear tyre. The idea being that it's not, when in the wet, it's not going to flick water up onto you. So we'll put that on next. Fitting, it comes with a couple of shims for smaller or larger. We're going to need it without those, so they'll be going in the bin. This just clips around, and for mine it's going to have to go on the seat, but it just clips around like that and holds in place, and then it'll hold it out over the back, and you can adjust it with these two as to how high up off the tyre. If you're a fair weather rider, like you're only going to ride in the dry, you don't have to put the mud flaps on at all because they won't be needed. So I'll make a comment about build quality at this point. This is obviously specific to the VALK bike. You get a feel for things, particularly as you're working with them, playing them, putting together. And the VALK bike, it's okay. You know, it's got PRC, People's Republic of China. We know it's coming from China on the box. It is the cheapest that I could see of a decent quality bike. So you're not going to expect the world. I love the quality around the brakes, the frame, all that's really good. What I have noticed is every time you're doing up a screw or bolt, you're knocking the paint off it. So that's noticeable. But now after fitting these mudguards, that is miles lower quality. Particularly this bracket here, which is going to take all the torque from this getting bumped or whatever, really, really flimsy. I expect that to break pretty quick, and it certainly wouldn't be repairable if it did break. Same on the front, just very, very light. So the build quality of the mud flaps is way below the rest of the bike, but the rest of the bike, yeah, we'll get to see how good it is, but seemingly happy at this point. Okay, we've got the battery on, and the only tricky thing with the battery is to see that you have your key, and let's just say no one can steal your battery while you're inside having a coffee in the coffee shop, I think. You need the key to be able to get the battery off. You take it around to unlock and then pull it back, and it'll come off. It's just a little pin holds it in place. Put it to lock, and your battery is in place. You don't have to take the keys with you, but you do need the keys if you want to take the battery off. So there's that, and then adjusting the seat. She's tipped up this way too much, and the way to adjust that is actually from underneath here. You can see here, you can see that little rocky cradle that sits in that. So we loosen that off, and then we can adjust that and move it to the height we want. But this reflector's in the way, so we're going to have to undo the reflector, drop it down, then loosen that off, then adjust the seat where we want it, and we will be in business. But it's looking grand. It's time for a ride. Tilt on the seat. You can see I've moved the reflector down, and that's made that Allen key. That's another size bigger again. So we'll loosen that off, and then we'll be able to level that seat out and then tighten him up again. So now there's a whole lot of little fine tuning to do. You loosen off the handlebar, these 4 bolts here, and you get this to the position where you want it, where the brakes are comfortable and it's on the angle that you want. You also have to tighten up these two. There's one in this direction, one in this direction. That's all the same Allen key. And that's what holds the yoke straight with your wheel. So you line up your wheel at right angles to at 90 degrees to the front wheel, get that all lined up, do that up tight. Get this doesn't have an adjustment, it's just a friction. It does have an adjustment, but I'll show you what all these do and their operation in another video. Your computer has got an adjustment, couple of very little Allen keys, get that one right, and everything else is sweet. But the main thing, the main operation ones, you have to get tight, of course, of your steering. That's those 4 on the front there and these 2 here, so that you're then safe to go for a little ride. But before you do that, of course, watch my other video which shows you all the buttons and what they do.